So the next step is to unpack the drawers. So let's try number one here. Now, these, as I said earlier, they do make the glue easy enough to pull out. This is one of the exceptions where it's a bit harder. You've really got to, sometimes you need to get a screwdriver down there to get the purchase, but here we go. So you pull that off and that whole thing comes apart. Now, it's important that you pick up the instruction manual that comes with that because it highlights the actual positions when you go to mount the sliders for the drawers. It shows you where they are. So again, don't lose it. One of the things I alluded to very early on about the quality and the design, brilliant design of the Ikea kitchens. Well, here's an example. So we have the back plate and we have a side and a side. Now the idea is to lay them out like this, no screws, nothing. So this bottom section here lines up with the slides, the sides on each part of these sides. And on each one of these sides there is a group of little clamps that go into the slots. So whenever you push them in, and they just literally lock in. They're a little bit fiddly, but they go together reasonably well. So you line those slots up there and you just push them in, and that's it. They lock. And we'll do the other side. There you go. Look at that. I mean, that's how easy it is to lock those together. So what you do now, you stand that up. The grooving here line up with a couple of little indents in the slide. So it's just a matter of sliding them and down they go. There's that part of the drawer done. So these are the two mechanisms which are bolted to the front of the drawer, and this part of the mechanism here slots into the metal parts of the drawer. Next step is to unpack these. These are the actual front of the drawers that go on there. So that's the front of the drawer that goes there like that. Okay. Now in a minute what we're going to do, we're going to screw on a couple of little attachments. Once they're screwed on, this literally goes in and locks in a mechanism in the side of the drawer. Again, another ingenious idea. In this case there's two of these, so I'll do the second one. Okay, I'll put this one up here out of the way for the moment. Now I'm going to show you how we put together the mechanism that locks in. So these are the two mechanisms which are bolted to the front of the drawer, and this part of the mechanism here slots into the metal parts of the drawer. Okay, so at this stage, this is where you need to have a good look at the manual again. So the first part of the manual shows you the mechanism of how I did that last bit. So there's a page here, there's step number 5, and this shows you how the screws go in, and I'll put that up on the screen right now so you can actually see that. Okay, let's do it. So following the instructions on the screen, we have a screw on the top one, and so there's 3 holes. If you look closely, there are 3 holes there. You put them like that. Oops. Holes in the board, and start them. Right. And you do the same to the other side. On this drawer, there's a series of holes. We have to go to the top series of holes, and the most important thing is that you go to the 2 top holes on the plastic attachment, and they go to the 2 corresponding holes, top corresponding holes. One other thing I noticed, by the way, both of these plastic doodads, actually, it seems counterintuitive, but they both go the same way. They're identical. It's not like you have a left and a right. Right, once you've done that, the next section is number 7, and it shows you how this pushes together on the drawer we've just done. So let's do that now. So what I tend to do is put the drawer next to it here, grab this, pull this in to the slots, and that's it. No screws, no nothing. It is literally now the drawer, and all we have to do now is put the guides on here, a couple of other bits and pieces, and that drawer is finished. If you look closely, you'll see there are two holes. One there, that's an adjustment. That's for aligning the drawers once they're assembled. This other one here, now it's hard to see, but there is actually a screw underneath it. There's a tang right there. It's like a locking mechanism, and there's a Phillips head screw underneath there. This is how you unlock the board from this frame here. And I'm going to undo that right now. And if you watch, see that? And that means that that can now come out. Now, if you noticed in the previous, when you noticed in the previous section when I was assembling this, I had trouble. And it turns out the mechanism inside here wasn't set properly. Now, normally when it comes from the factory, it is. If you look closely at the moment, what happened, see how that spring loads? That should have been like that, so that when you push it in, it goes down like that. And it wasn't. So if you go to assemble it and you can't get it in, take it off and check that to make sure it goes that way. As I said, it has to be loaded like that on both sides. So to finish this off, you have 2 rails, one this side, one that side. These, you can't mix them up. The little clip on here can only go one way. So that literally clips in like that. Then that slots into there, that goes over there. But I'll pull that back for the moment. We have the same thing here. We have a clip that goes there, that goes like that. Now we have these other components. This bit here, it goes up there like that. That one goes up there like that. We have 2 little doodads that plug, little basically plugs, which go into the screw. That then goes across, that then goes across. There are also 2 little plates. One goes on one side to cover up the holes, and you have another one for the other side. There is one last thing to do, and I want to hark back to a comment I made earlier about this one lone screw. And there's a little bit of a lesson here. So we have 3 other little screws. Now, those 3 screws and this plastic thing goes on here. Sorry, yes, down there. So I'm going to put them aside for a moment. We'll tip this over and look at that. This one goes in the middle hole here. Now, why it's confusing is there are 3 holes here. But, again, when you get to the book, oops, again, always go back to the manual. And in step 4, which is up on the screen now, it shows quite clearly where that screw goes, but it mentions nothing about the other 2. And as I said, it's just a bit of a trap for the unwary. Because what I ended up doing was using those other 3 screws to go in here, and I didn't realise that they weren't for that. Okay, that's now secure. We'll now turn this over. One, 2. Same situation. Just an intent to help it. Once we've got that started, so that's the end of that. So the next step is to do the top drawer, and then we're finished. Now, in some of the other ones, there are internal drawers that go like hidden drawers, and it's exactly the same process, but you just use different front ends. And with the sliders, you on the top, when you've got hidden drawers, you mount them 1 hole in, so that the slider, the actual front of the drawer, is actually inside the cabinet itself, so that that big fascia there can actually close up against it. Under the second drawer, okay, these are the sliders. Now, when you get them, they're like that you slide along, and you'll notice on the plate here, it's probably hard to see, but it says R, the right side, and then obviously you've got the left side. Right. So the way to show this, that's how it goes together, with that little knob going out against the mount itself. And on here there are 2 little prongs, and what you do, you line them up, and then you're supposed to push them. Now, I've discovered that that's a little bit hard to push, so what I do is use a screwdriver and a hammer and just give it a few little taps, and hey presto, it's on. You then do the same with the left hand side. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now they are on, and see that? Nice soft start. Okay, so now we're going to put the guides inside here. So, as we've done all along, we look at the book, and section section 13 and then 14 actually explain how these go together, and just make sure. Yep, that's it. So again, if you follow exactly what it says in the book, you can't go wrong. So here we go. So we're on the bottom there. I'm going to use these 2 holes here and 1 over there. So put the first one in. Whoops. Thumble fingers. So that's one. Then we slide that out so we can get access to this other hole. As I said, thumble fingers. Right, there we go. And there's the next hole. And then if you push it back in, there's one other hole here. And using this one, the drill I mean, that's now done, and as you can see, look at that, it works brilliantly. And look at that, look on top. And there we have it. And then one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Second drawer. There we have it. The 2 drawers are all done. I hope you have found this of some interest. There will be further videos coming, and sometime down the track, it'll be a few months, we'll be actually assembling them on the wall after we've cleaned out the old kitchen. And I might do a few other videos in between showing other cupboards and other bits and pieces of the kitchen. So thank you for watching, and till next time, see you later.